What's up, everybody? Been a while since I went live over on the main portion. Kind of fell asleep last night in my shirt, so all spiffy from the evening. Went out, had a family dinner. Today I will talk about over the top two in Australia this upcoming weekend. What's up, everybody? I'll talk about East versus West 20, and we'll do a few polls with some of the bigger matches on the cards. So happy to see y'all this Monday morning, bright and early. Lots of people on here. Hello, everybody. Hello. So I'm packing up. I'm gonna go to all the way over to Brisbane. I think our flight lands. The whole family's going over. Auden, Milo, Havery, Jody. We're all going over the top to Phil Rasmussen, Australian Arm Wrestling Association. Should be a really, really good event. I know that there's all sorts of ways you can watch that or get involved. Going over to Australian Arm Wrestling, either on Instagram or Facebook. And yeah, that's going to be great. I think that the favorite, and I'll say it right now, the favorite is probably going to be young Riker Borman. That's what I think. That kid's awesome, but I mean, $10,000. They're putting $10,000 in the overall class. 10,000 Australian dollars. That's a very, very nice payday. So that could probably attract a lot of people from far away. So good to see all you guys in here. I'll look at all your questions and stuff as we go. Do you compete soon? Lots of good questions here. I see the documentary thing popping up. Documentary's moving along great. I believe I'm not super involved. I don't talk to Rory that much about it. I just know every time I talk to him, he sends me a little snippet and it's gold. They're doing an incredibly professional job with it. Like really, really sharp, really good. It's going to be excellent when it finally does appear. And I think they're in final stages. So, this stuff takes a while. Pulling John took like 8 years to come out. So, I mean, if we do this one in 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever it takes, I don't know. I think we'll be pretty happy. So this upcoming weekend is over the top two, guys. Definitely check it out. All the people, I think Big Maddie's going to be there. All the Australian talent should be there. I would imagine for $10,000, people are going to be coming from further. But I'll be the whole time I leave. So like as of like Wednesday, I'll be giving lots of promotion about that because I think it's going to be an awesome representation of the area. But on to bigger things. I feel like the sun is once again shining on the sport of arm wrestling. I feel like, we were in a bit of a bad spot here for a while, but I quite honestly believe that this is Red John coming to Sweden when you stole me a Levon match. I'd love to come to Sweden. I would love to come to Sweden. It'll happen. It'll happen. Super busy, really. We're super busy. Johnny and I go from Australia directly to Switzerland. The plan right now is from Switzerland, we're gonna get like a Euro pass, like a train pass, and we're gonna take the stops all through Europe. Just pick for just a few days. Maybe hopefully end up in Manchester. Neil's got an event going on out there that week, and then we'll come home and start preparations because hopefully in Switzerland I will figure out who I'm actually arm wrestling and when. Miles should have a February. Oh, match in February here too. Yeah, that Brazilian event sounding real cool. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Too many Indians in Canada. Oh, we got some great guys here in Canada. Start a poll. Let's start a poll. Let's get this stuff started with the East versus West 20 card, because this I feel like we're back on track. Okay, we got world title matches. This is really what keeps the sport going. World title matches. I love watching the top of the sport scrap it out. Okay, so all of these matches that I'm going to cover today, these are the ones off of ArmBet. Okay, which we specially scientifically select that we think are the hottest matches on the card. There's a lot of good matches on the card, but we pick the ones that we think that people are going to be most interested. Lots of people in the questions today. Lots of people saying hi. Will I pull the bone? Oh yeah, okay. We'll get to that February thing. We'll get to that like later. Frantic. Are you training with lightweights now? Just a little bit, buddy. Just a tiny bit. When's the next mail opening? I got to do it like today or tomorrow. I got a ton of mail. I got to do it before I get on the plane. So I'll do an unboxing like very soon. Very soon, probably today or tomorrow. Okay. So first poll is Todzilla Hutchings versus did I hold on, wait a second, did I write the right thing? I said Bacho. It's not Bacho. Again, let me do that again. I got Bacho on my mind, obviously I'm thinking about Bacho. Okay, start Q&A. Let's do this again. Start poll. Zilla versus not Bacho, that fucking tight pants wearing dude. Tight pants. Robin Hood, Robin from Batman. And right now it is okay. Here we are. That's better. Todzilla versus Irakli Zirikashvili from Georgia. Okay. This is their third time they pulled. Okay. Surprisingly, Hutchings has been beating the piss out of him every single time. Okay. And nobody can wrap their mind around it. Everybody's like, that's crazy. Let's see it one more time. Todd Hutchings, 59. Is he 59 or 58? 58 or 59. Shows no signs of weakening. Young stud Irakli Zirikashvili is just, he's awesome. Been world, won the WAF, East versus West, longtime champion. And this is his next shot. So we will see. And it's a shutout stake. That means Irakli just needs to win one. So and it's progressing quite evenly. So I think people think that Hutchings is still going to win. Arm wrestling rock member for 6 months. Devon Larratt. This may be a trivial question, but tell me what kind of strap is used for high pronation training. Well, let's just see. I got my belt on. So high pronation training. So when you do like pronation training, a lot of people do it just like this. Okay. They're going to wrap around their thumb and they're going to do their pronation training. This would be like standard pronation training. I see people do like low stuff where it's just off the wrist. High pronation training, you can kind of flip it a little bit. You can flip it so then it's just running high. Okay, so you're just kind of doing like a higher form. You can do that. Okay, you can use any old strap. I use this one for everything pretty much. But high pronation training, just hit it higher up on the hand. You won't be able to use much weight. It's less stable for sure. More rising involved in it. It's good. Let me see, where are we here? Okay, just keeping up with the live today. Caleb's Carnivore Quest. Hi, you got me to start training arm wrestling. Fantastic. Fantastic. Love to hear that. A lot of questions in here, guys. I think you need to listen to Vitali. Yes, I do. You versus Hermes in a rematch. Very interesting. Okay, at the end, okay, I'll talk about potentially what I see coming with Vitali and Hermes and Nugo, and I don't know who else. Frantic side pressure versus top roll. Yep, that's what that match is. That's what that match is, very, very much. But looks like Zilla remains the favorite. Zilla remains the favorite, not surprisingly. Okay, the guy just keeps on killing it. He had a swing at the 115 category there, which was, I think, that's just a bit too far. This is a 95 kilo world title. Okay, 95 kilo. David Tomes, a gamer, arm wrestler, Discord buddy named Dominic Lorenz wants to meet you when you're there. Have fun. Oh, great. Thanks, David. He's in Switzerland or is he in Australia? You message me, buddy. You message me and let me know. Okay, we're going to put a close on that because Zilla's the guy still. Zilla is still the dude. I guess really not surprising. I mean, the guy's won twice in a row. And it's tough to. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This is I think this is the main event of the card. Vitali versus Jerry. And just to give you guys some info before the poll goes, on ArmBet, it's a shutout stake. It's a shutout stake. And Vitali's block is closed, and Jerry's got like $20 sold. Okay, so on ArmBet, everybody thinks Vitali is going to murder him. Okay, so I'll throw some of my thoughts on this match. It's a great match. So right away, there's been a lot of talk about making the main events, like no matter what, making them a 4 to 7. And I do think that there is a lot of logic to making a lot of the bigger matches 4 to 7. Like 3 to 5 is good, but I find with the 3 to 5, if they are close, like if the match is close, sometimes you would want another match or two. I find that, and I see that a lot of times in matches. 3 to 5 is still can be leave a little bit of space for, and 4 to 7 just would add to the meat and potatoes of the match so much. I like to watch a good match, and I got a feeling that this could be one of them. So I mean, if it's not, no big deal. Throw another round in there, but if it is, the 4 to 7 could make it just one of those historically incredibly cool matches that you can just love so much more than just a 3 to 5. So that's the first thing I'll say about the match. Arm Wrestling Rock, you retracted something there. So look at, so what can we say? Vitali is just incredible, right? Like Vitali he's big, he's strong, crazy. He's a great arm wrestler. He ticks all the boxes. I am the guy who always has been saying, if there's one guy in the entire planet that we are aware of that can potentially beat Levon, the highest chance is probably going to Vitali. Frantic. I'll answer that. Give me a minute, okay? Let me keep talking about Vitali and I'll answer your question. Frantic, that's a good one. So everybody believes that this guy has so much potential. He's so big, so strong, so long in the arm wrestling game already. He's been arm wrestling since he was a teenager. He's crisp, and now he's fully dedicated. He's just so dangerous. And the crazy thing is he has these losses, which don't really make a lot of sense to most people. Like Hermes. He lost to Hermes in a fantastic match. He lost to Dave Chafee, which he very much did clean up. But you can't help but like wonder why did that even happen? Because when you talk about Vitaly, really we have him raised up on this pedestal, and I think rightly so. And then there's Jerry. Jerry is very unorthodox. His flop wrist press continues to give people problems. Not a ton of people face flop wrist pressers at that level on the regular, so it's always a bit awkward for people because they're not typically dealing with flop wrist pressers all the time. And Jerry is probably the best right-handed flop wrist presser in the world. So makes it super interesting. And you see like Vitaly's history, like Vitaly absolutely struggled with Dave Chafee when Dave did get the strap and the flop engaged. So you have to think that stylistically at least, Jerry is very well suited to beat Vitaly stylistically. But really none of that matters if the guy's just better. Like if you're just a better, stronger arm wrestler, all that styles and counters, it's all goes out the window and the better guy wins. But if it's close, that styles thing can really make a massive difference. And it looks like Vitaly is in the lead. I'm not surprised. The polls reflect that. I kind of lean that way. I hope Jerry wins. I think it'd be super cool if Jerry can beat him. It'll be a big ask. Vitaly looks like he's just awesome these days. Frantic. What happened to Dennis and the hammer? So I'll say it here on my channel. I know I've said it in other places, but I'll say it here. I'm kind of a bit sick of it just because I feel like it's just been made so dirty. From what I understand, so Aylmer, the Baku guy, messaged me after I was making fun of Dennis like I do on the regular for whatever. And he told me that Dennis no longer has the hammer. He said it was transferred to Artem Morozov. I haven't talked to Artem. I don't know what he's done with it or whatever, but at this point, I'm kind of I think it's just really, really pretty dirty what I just don't like those guys very much. I don't like Dennis. I think he's a fucking piece of shit. And I hope I get to arm wrestle him, really. I'd love to arm wrestle the fucking guy. I just don't approve of, the things he did to the sport, and he's not a hero of mine. So anyways, I'll keep on publicly hammering him every time I get able to. But I'm like, do you think I'll get a match? Do you think I'll get a match with him? Most people are like, no, you'll never pull him down. And I just keep pushing because I think I will. I think eventually I'm going to arm wrestle this guy left-handed. It's going to be awesome. And he's not my buddy. I won't be, all like loving up on him when we get to arm wrestle. I'll be really happy to fight the guy. Anyway, so Dennis, I don't think he has the hammer. I think that the hammer's moved on to Artem Morozov. I don't know what the fuck he's done with it. At this point, I don't really care. Okay, arm wrestling rock. Thanks to the answer earlier, but that's not what I meant. I was asking what material the long strings used for high pronation are made of. Dude, this has made it even more confusing. The material the long strings used for high pronation training are made of. The long strings used for high pronation training. So if this is what you're talking about for strings, it's just fabric. If somehow you're talking about the strings as in the tendons in the hand, I mean, or if you're talking about the weights, you can use elastics. I'm sorry, buddy. I really don't know what you're talking about. My dog wants to get it out today. It's a nice day here. It's starting to get towards the end of the summer. It's almost the winter time, guys, here in Canada. Time to get out of here. Brazilian arm wrestler. How different do Dennis and Levons feel? Worlds apart, buddy. Worlds apart. Levon is a titan and very, very skilled. Um, and his hands are ridiculous. Dennis' hands are very strong and very thick, but short and hard and unathletic. Levon is a real deal, guys. The Levon Dennis comparison should really stop. It's really, and that's not just because I think Dennis is a dumbass. It's a different level of athlete. Levon is a way higher level of athlete in this arm wrestling game than Dennis. It's my honest opinion, without me throwing my personal bias of thinking Dennis is a dumbass in there. Okay, Levon is just better. He's just better in like every way. Okay, but I think we got that on wrap. Vitaly is the dude. Vitaly is the dude. And Cole. Okay. I see this Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant would have been ridiculous. Okay, let me get another poll up here before I answer this next one. Okay. 115. 115. World title shot. Dave Chafee, Ibrahim Sagov. How awesome is that? How awesome is that match? Super, super cool. Super cool. Okay. Where are we here? Mr. Lombardo. Mr. Larratt, aka the GOAT. Do you have a specific trigger to summon your alter ego? A thought, a posture, sound? Yes. Much love from Mr. Lombardo. Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do 100% use things from my military career. Okay, so normally I kind of slouch around. I'm in a very relaxed state, relaxed posture. Before I compete, I'll kind of do 3 different things. Okay, so well, maybe even 4. The first thing is I adjust my posture. Okay. Oh, who is this? Oh, it's my buddy. One of the best fighters that I've ever met. I'll tell him I'm going to call him back. I'll call you later. I met this guy in France. Awesome young fighter. What a machine. What a freaking machine this guy is. What a talent. My God. This guy's going to fight UFC. No question about it. I'll call him right afterwards. Okay. So, right. So I fix my posture. Like I'm going to get in a fight. Okay. Like, so I start to tighten things. I start to stand. I start to move in the ways that I used to move and stand when I used to do CQB. I used to be an actual fighter in the wars. I think about fights that I've been in back. I'm talking about like gunfights and stuff back, long time ago. And I work with my breath. I really, really breathe a lot. I breathe and I breathe and I breathe and I breathe. I breathe. I forcefully exhale, forcefully, just keep breathing harder and harder and harder. I breathe in a way that's very difficult to do. It's a lot of work. So posture. I think about old fights that I've been in. I think about the movements involved. So I actually don't do like arm wrestling warm-ups normally. I'll do like CQP drills. So like I'll go and I'll do corner drills and go through doors and stuff and just think the way that I used to think when I'd fight. And I find that really gets me ready. Matteo Bernas. I hope the situation with athletes gets resolved. You're a legend and didn't deserve all this. I'm glad you and Hermes cleared things up. You're my favorite arm wrestler. I can't wait to see you together. Thank you, Matteo. And I think that it is really probably for the most part fixed. I think a lot of, well, we're all going to sit together and I think we're all going to work everything out. That's what I really think. there's trash talk and there's gamesmanship and there's personal relationships. But yeah, I was super pissed when the boycott happened. I was really deeply upset. It's a lot of the reason why I took a more major step back from the sport for a little bit. I just, and I don't actually really blame the athletes fundamentally. I don't think any of them would have done it if they hadn't been encouraged highly by a certain individual who I think many of us are deeply displeased with. But I think that for the most part, that's resolved. I think that most of the relationships will cease to have this influence put over them. And I think that the people who have a problem with me will still have a problem with me. The people who don't will not. And I think that the pressures of the people who were pushing the boycott earlier, I think that they'll be done. Maybe I'm wrong. I'll find out in Switzerland. Maybe people really do still hate me. But I think it's my presumption that most of it came from the former owner of the league. Okay. So where are we with this match? Dave Chafee versus the Bragum Sagoff. So on ArmBet, it's on block 2. That means block 1 sold out, and a Bragum Sagoff is totally sold out. What that tells me is we got probably a big better. I don't want to say his name, but there's a dude who quite often really believes that a guy's going to win. He's pretty good. So he thinks that, and I'm guessing, I don't know. I haven't looked at who's buying what, but I'm going to guess that a Bragum Sagoff is being bought out completely. And that's not a bad pick, man. Like this 115 category is getting interesting again, I think. So you saw me write down Bacho earlier. Yeah. Bacho's a name. Okay. So when you think, so this is for the world title, Chafee versus Sagoff. You got US diesel powered Dave Chafee, who is just incredible. And he's finally in the right class. Okay. 115. From what I understand, Dave walks around 253 every day. Like he's like right around that 250. I saw him weigh in and it just seemed like regular day for him. He's in great shape, walking around 250. He could even go 105 if he wanted to do a water cut. But Dave Chafee in the categories, that's very dangerous. And what it does is it ups the competitiveness of the classes. Like having Dave in the supers was cool. Like he's awesome. Like, but the truth is, like in today's landscape, almost impossible to win a super heavyweight title. But him at 115 or 105, he is right in there. And here he goes for a world title. I hope Dave wins. I'll be so happy if Dave Chafee wins. But he's going against a really, really strong guy in a Bragum Sagoff. Watching a Bragum's career, he's strong, like crazy strong, like really like top tier strong. And the way he trains, and the way his commitment with that inside press is, like there's no mistake about it. He is inside, he's cupping and he's supinating and he's bringing that shoulder forward. You watch the lifts he does, he's super strong. Dave Chafee's super strong. And he keeps his hand. This will be quite a test. This will be quite a test for both of them. I personally think Dave Chafee's going to win. I think he's going to take his hand. I think he's going to top roll him, and then from there he's going to just dismantle him. I don't know. Scary. The Bragum Sagoff is definitely, and if he wins convincingly, awesome. Either one of them wins convincingly, it really puts a lot more stamp on the crown of the 115. But I think it's probably going to be a very close match, and it's probably going to be where Haber's coming. Haber's coming over. And Tori. We'll say hi to them. Come on. Oh, hello. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing?
you? Are you?
Yeah, I'm on live. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Hey,
Hi, everyone.
hey, Tori. They don't want to say hi.
Hi.
Yeah. Where were you?
I'm Alice.
Oh, just over there.
Yeah.
Okay. The back door is closed, so that the doggy doesn't.
Oh, well, no, but we're gonna go close it.
That's important because the dog always roams the neighborhood. Okay. Where were we? So, yeah. So this is a super close match. Okay, for me, it's a super close match. I'm really excited about it. Okay, where are we? Weird Cat. What do you think about Georgie Svetkov versus Hermes next? I think he hasn't had a chance to really test his hand and wrist since your match. Great match. Really, really good match. Hermes and Svetkov. Yeah, that should happen. That's a great match that should happen. I think Hermes should be the favorite, but Svetkov is just such an awesome top roller. And if Hermes gets his hand and wrist taken, I mean, that's not good. I think Hermes should win. But Svetkov is, what an awesome hand and wrist. And to like take his hand and wrist traditionally that's hard to do, especially by a guy with a Hermes' arm probably won't be longer. Sounds like my mic is not good. I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah. Where are we? Devon Larratt and Abbas. Yeah, that's hopefully coming. Piyush Kumar. Thank you, brother. See you at over the top 2. I'm competing with one arm. That's Jake Allen. Oh, one arm paralyzed. Any tips from someone who can't use their other arm? Is there a technique you'd recommend? There was a guy in Canada, the one-arm bandit, Vern Martel. He arm wrestled with one arm. The other one was paralyzed, I think, for forever. And he won tons. He was champion like forever. So don't let it discourage you. The off arm, it's not really required. You don't really need it. A lot of people say that they get a lot of force through that peg hand, but I don't. And I don't think a lot of people do. Just make sure your body positioning is always good. And, just have your stance really good so you can stand up and move your body, without the stability of this other arm. But it just means you get to focus more on your one arm. So you're a pumpkin training guy. So rejoice, if there can be such a thing. Let's see. When will you face Levon? Please give any approximate time frame. Will it be early 2026? Hard to say when I'll face Levon. Well, I'll see him in Switzerland. Maybe we'll hit the practice table a little bit. But a formal match, I'll get there. I'll talk about that at the very, very end. I've got a few more matches that I want to cover here for you guys. So Dave Chafee is the favorite here on this poll. Not here, he's not. Not on ArmBet. On ArmBet, Sagoff is sold out. So I don't know. I agree. I think Chafee's probably the favorite. I think he's the favorite. But I mean, arm wrestling match is tough to pick. Okay, women's super heavyweight world champion left arm, Barbora versus Gabby, left arm world title. So everybody sees Barbora, and Barbora smokes everybody. She's like the Levon of the female competition in the right, but left arm, we're not so sure. I'm pretty certain that Gabby has the last win. I'm pretty certain that Gabby beat her last time. So left is not the right. It was close. I mean, the right arm match, even though Barbora is winning, it's a close match. It is a close match. So I personally anticipate another close match. I ran into Gabby. I ran into Gabby. I don't remember where it was, but I was talking to her about it, and she was much more confident with the left. I remember she was saying she's much more confident left-handed. So, and ArmBet thinks that Barbour is the champ. ArmBet thinks that Barbour is going to win, and that's that. I personally am not so sure. I'm just not so sure. I think that it'd be super cool if they split, but I understand why Barbour would be the favorite. She's big, strong, young, but it doesn't always work that way. It doesn't always work that way. Wow, we're getting some a lot of deleted stuff on here. Let me see. I don't know why some messages are getting deleted here. My mods are all on the ball. When are you coming to India? You have fans there. I'd love to get back to India. What a busy place for arm wrestling these days. I watch a lot of the Pro Panja and super impressed. Like really impressed with the Pro Panja production. I'm watching a lot of the highlights that come out of that league. Good arm wrestling. And looks like their champions are starting to get pretty good. I watched that match. Got a kind of chuckle out of it with their young top rolling champion. I know a bit about him because Auden was thinking about having a match with him. I think that this guy's probably still a little bit too much for Auden. Tall, young kid, top roller, and he was in with Suhail. Suhail's such a character. But yeah, good stuff coming out of India. Red John, what does it take to become a mod on this channel? Red John, you're a moderator on this channel. Just like that. Thank you for your service, Red John. Yeah. Yeah. And listen, I like everybody to be able to speak. I don't care. Even that retard eternal can come on here and talk crap. I don't care. I don't really ever want to censor something unless someone's saying something totally just nasty, but pretty much everybody, you can say whatever. I'm sorry, I can't keep up really with the chat too much. Okay. So Barbour versus Gabby is close. It's close. It's a close match. We still have. Oh my god! I should speed this up. We're gonna be here all day. Okay. On to the next one, guys. On to the next one. Barbour, too big, too strong, too good. She's the champ. She's gonna be the right hand, and she's gonna be the left hand champion. And there's nothing Gabby can do to stop it. Hey, Brazil. It's going to be great. I'm telling you, East versus West 20. It's going to be awesome, guys. I am so excited. I think it's going to be the first time in a while that East versus West is really back. Really, like, these are the matches that keeps arm wrestling alive. The best in the world titles, our best arm wrestlers going back and forth. We're getting close. I'm getting excited. Okay. Kalina versus Wild Horse. Matt Mask versus Sergey Kalinchenko. We're on block 2, so this one's moving. Wild Horse is in the lead. This is left hand. I think it's a 105. I can't be sure, though. I can't be sure what the weight is on this. I think it's probably 105. I know Matt's been pulling 105. I know Sergey can make 105. Maybe it's 115. I don't know. But okay, so Kalina, I mean, I just see this guy training. I'm not super close with Kalinchenko, but I see all the time he's keeping up. He's a professional arm wrestler. Matt is not a professional arm wrestler, but he should be, and he could be. But he's just he's a oil field guy, and he's busy and not busy. But the thing is the guy's a freaking genetic monster. Like Matt Mask is a genetic monster. Like his hands, his frame. Like you don't see Matt Masks just walking around all the time. He's made to dominate in the sport of arm wrestling. Like at 105, his frame is just superior. It's just superior. Kalyanchenko is very professional. I think it's gonna be hard. Hey, where's the dog? I like the dog inside. Get the dog.
It's fine, don't worry.
Get the dog. Let's see. This is the problem at our house. People leave the gates open, and I let the dog out, and then the dog runs through the neighborhood. I think it's going to be a tough match for Matt. You'll have to be very, very on the ball. Hello, Mr. Larratt. Will you join the Swiss Open again this year like you did last year? We met at Triple X Fitness. I was the 16-year-old kid. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, buddy. What a great time I had last year. I had so much fun last year. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see. That's all I can say right now is we'll see. I'd like to. I don't know what my requirements will be at the event, but I'd certainly be open to that. I'd certainly be open to it because why not? Why not? It'll be a great event, that's for sure. I'll talk to the organizers and kind of see what's up. Okay, I got to keep this moving because I have to train. I have to pack. I have to go to practice tonight. So I'm going to keep this moving. So it's close. So Wild Horse is a favorite, but I think that's because we're on this channel. I think, and everybody loves Matty on here. I think it's a close match. I think Matt's going to have a tough time with this one. I hope he wins, of course. I'll be in his corner. But that's a tough one, Sergey Kalyanchenko. And they got history. They've pulled. It is left hand, isn't it? I'm sure it's left hand. Yeah, it is left hand. Okay, here we go. I was actually waiting for this one. I love this match. Really love this match. Bum, bum, bum. Petrenko versus Nugo. Good match. World title, right hand, 105. It's been a year. I no longer can say that I'm the 105 kilo world champion, and I've been told I will have the honor of taking my East versus West belt, which I'm going to put in a bag later today, and put it around the belt of one of these guys, around the waist of one of these guys. Petrenko, obviously, refined, polished, awesome, professional, dedicated. I feel every time I think of Petrenko, I think of Pushkar. I think of the Ukraine arm wrestlers, and they're so good, and he's just such a symbol of all of that. Young, and the dude's just a champion. Like every time he pulls, what he did in the 95 kilo was incredible. I didn't think he was going to do that, going down and winning left hand. So he's got the left hand title in 95, and then so he's coming back to reclaim. And I talked to Petrenko, and he's like, I want to have another match with you. So that's cool. I don't know when it'll happen, but he's down for another one at some point. And Nugo, Nugo is so wild. The guy is way stronger than he should be. When you watch his channel, you watch his lifts, he's too strong. He's way too strong. He shouldn't be that strong. He's crazy, crazy strong. Look at top of the arm wrestling pyramid is very, very strong people. Like you can't find a world champion and normally say that they're not strong, except for me. Everybody says I'm weak, and I'm not that strong compared to a lot of these guys. These guys are very, very high strength. Nugo is super high strength. His lifts are completely mind-boggling. So But as you can see, we're on block 1. Petrenko fully sold out. Nugo's got like $2 down. So nobody is picking Nugo to win. I'm not so sure. I really just don't know. I saw what Nugo did with Matt Mask. And I watched Nugo, and Nugo seems to be like his body composition seems to be changing. Like I remember when I first saw Nugo, this is a bit smoother, still super strong and super explosive, but just like carrying a little bit more body fat, I thought. And now when I look at his pictures, he looks leaner. He looks leaner, so I can't help but think he's in better shape. Super interested in that match, and I've already been told that Nugo has already agreed to pull me in December if he wins. We will see. You versus Levon left hand would be epic. Yeah, love that. Pulling Levon left, yeah, sign me up. Levon, let's go left-handed anytime. Anytime, Levon. Levon's probably not listening. He's probably eating Kinkali and being rubbed in a bath somewhere. Ben Major, I met you at Nationals 2024. Will you be coming to another Canadian Nationals in the future? And does Auden have plans for Nationals as an adult? Yeah, I always love to go to the Nationals if it makes sense. If I can get to the Nationals, I'll definitely go, but I don't have plans for it at the moment. And Auden, I can't say. I don't know if Auden has plans to. Red John, I must go with young Petrenko. Most people are going with Petrenko. Most people I talk to, like just about all the arm wrestlers I talk to, say Petrenko. He's just awesome arm wrestler. He's really, really solid and sound. And, I remember the first time I saw him, he beat Prudnik, in the gym with a PAL promotion. After that, I was like, okay, keep your eyes on this guy. And he's always been awesome, always. So, yeah, it's not a bad pick to go with Petrenko. It's just Nugo is this wild thing that is very interesting. Piyush Kumar, Devon, what do you think about side pressure training and Todd Hutchings' technique? Is it good? And can you put Bollywood dance videos more? Namaste. I think that any training is good. I am not a huge fan of side pressure. I do a little bit of press work in rehabilitation. And when I arm wrestle, I absolutely use hooking and pressing. I'm just not a big believer that side pressure is a big part of any of that. Like I really like it's a bit, but like I find that when you start to use side pressure, it's easy for your opponent to compromise your hand. Okay, so anybody who uses side pressure, it's great against the right opponent, but if the opponent is a good outside arm wrestler, good top roller, you're probably going to get your hand taken. And I don't like to pull in a position where I've lost my hand and I'm pushing. I can lose my hand when I'm pulling a bit better, but if I'm pushing and I lose my hand, so I don't use a lot of side. I don't train a ton of side. I did train a ton of side back when I was young, like back long ago. I've blown my stabilizing ligaments many times, like probably 3 or 4 times. I've blown out my elbow, rehabbed it back, all as a result of side pressure. So genetically, I'm not like a super side pressure strong guy. And I've always gotten in trouble with it. Side pressure for me turned into a lot of supination work. Supination really feels like side pressure to your opponent. And it's more mechanically sound, I believe. It's more what's really going to work. So my suggestion for you, okay, and listen, and I actually, what trumps my suggestion is I tell you, listen to everybody and listen to champions. Todd Hutchings, there was a question earlier about his technique. His technique's incredible, guys. He's a champion. If you are winning world titles, your technique is great, okay? He's not my technique, okay? Although the longer he arm wrestles, he's starting to get some really King's movie kind of stuff going on, even though he's known as a side pressure hook guy. He's like a dragging, side. Everything is working with Hutchings. It's all coming. Like the whole package is moving. Um, he's a real gift to the arm wrestling world. You know, like the way what he's done with the sport. You watch Todd Hutchings. Watch him and learn from him. That's all I'd tell you. Watch and learn from Todd Hutchings. For me, I'm not really a side pressure guy. Everybody else, yeah. Watch and learn from Todd Hutchings. There's something there for sure. My style is all hand control, and then when you lose your hand, then I'll use side pressure. Not until. And Bollywood dance. Well, I am going to Australia. That's a little bit closer to India, and maybe Amy will be there, and we'll do another one. That'd be fun. Me versus you, two hands frantic. No problem. No problem. Frantic. Okay. So it's close. So look at that. So the poll is close. Okay. So Petrenko versus Nugo. It's split. It's split. That's what it is. It's pretty much split. And poll. Okay. Okay. See some funny ones on there. All right. 1 second. 1 second. Start poll. This is the last one, guys. This is the last one. Camel versus D Daddy Can. Okay, I'll just put that one up for a second here before I get to it, and I'll read some of these. Okay. Jeremy Browning and family. Honestly, what percentage would you give yourself to defeat Levon if you set a match around March 2026? Oh, okay. So that'd be instead of a tally. Levon's incredible, guys. Really. Like, the dude is really, really fucking good. You know, I'll tell you a little funny thing. Okay. So I trained my whole life for arm wrestling, all the time training for arm wrestling. This dude in the shadows over here. Where is he? There he is. There's Levon. Always in the corner. And he's where we train too. I got his face up. He's in my locker at the High Hookers. Okay. Levon is always watching. He's always watching. Make no mistake what I think of Levon. I think he's the best. I think Levon is the best to ever arm wrestle. That's what I think. I think he's the best. I've arm wrestled a lot of people. Levon's the best. And I think he's the best I've even heard of. Like a herd of arm wrestlers from the past. And everything I hear makes me think Levon would beat all them too. Okay. I think Levon is super special. It's inspiring, it's very inspiring to have a guy like that in the sport and to just think about chasing him and just, what it means and what impact someone like that can have on your life if you actually try to beat him, and the first time I faced him, he tore my bicep. The second time I faced him, okay, there was a couple things. I think he seriously broke my back. I know that sounds so funny in the sport of arm wrestling to have your back broken, but I'm telling you, I couldn't walk properly for like a couple months afterwards. And I hit that spin so hard. And so I felt like I was so committed. It might not look like it because he's ripping through me, but I felt like I committed so hard. And the spin right through my back, right? Because my whole spine is spinning. And I feel like it went right down to the base of my spine where my hips connect. And I feel like he ripped that. So, ripped me right in half almost. Okay. Levon is very, very tough to beat. We talk about him a lot in this house. Because he's a central figure. He's a central figure in the sport. He's the king. To face him, to fight him is incredibly motivational. I structure my life for the long-term vision of beating Levon. And quite honestly, I don't know if I can do it, really. Like, it's like a mission impossible almost, you know, to chase something, knowing that the likelihood is you will never do it. It's quite interesting. Um, Nobody is the favorite against Levon. Nobody is. But we continue to chase, continue to fight. Um, I think that my chance would be low. And look at, and this is why, like, when you talk about some greater issues, the boycott, when that happened, when the match happened last time, I filled the internet afterwards with polls and things like "Let it break," you know, um, you know, somehow holding on to that one round where I wish I could have that round back. But in that round, the arm wasn't pinned. I broke the rules. I did king's move foul. Okay, and I became very vocal afterwards. Saying we should change the rules. World title match. Just break my arm. It's fine. Like, it's a world title. Let the arm break. Don't foul me out. It wouldn't have mattered. I think Levon still would have won that day, regardless of whatever rule set or whatever. I just I pushed a little bit, and I think that there's a concern that I do that again, because I'm well aware of the fact that beating Levon is extremely difficult. Would my chances increase? Could I change the rules? Yeah. Would I try to change the rules? Yes. Would the league and the athletes freak out and probably not let me do it? Probably. Would it be a more entertaining match? Definitely. So look at beating Levon, East versus West rules, 2026 March. I'm stronger. There's no question I'm stronger. And I'd be as big as I could be, which now I'm figuring out this stuff more and more as I age. So I'd probably be in the low 300s. Whoever I face in March, better be ready, because I will be training for arm wrestling like I do now. 4 days of arm wrestling, 3 days of rehab, and I'll be big, and I'll be very, very good. Big enough to beat Levon. Nobody's a favorite. Nobody. Would I be willing to fight him? Of course. I can fight that guy until until he probably kills me. That was a long one there for you, Jeremy. Yeah. No, I don't think about Levon ever. No. White Wolf. White Wolf. Hey, yesterday was hilarious, White Wolf. You were funny. Great show yesterday with Neil, Arm Gods, and Paul is a pretty good trick format. Hey, who to contact about next year's OHH barbecue? Go to the Ottawa High Hookers Facebook page. Talk to Sean Culligan on there. We'll keep you in the loop. I hope you come, buddy. It's a great party. You'll love it. That goes for anybody. You want to come to our annual party that we have. It's just a celebration of arm wrestling and good times. It's an open invite to the entire arm wrestling world and their family and friends. We get together once a year and we just arm wrestle and celebrate. It's a beautiful party, and yeah, White Wolf, we hope you make it. It's the last weekend. It's the last Saturday of July annually. Okay, so just go to the Facebook page. They'll keep you updated. Pop P, thank you, buddy. Okay. So, Devon's Farm, have a good day, champ. Thank you. ISK Gaming. Before I leave, Alpha, show you my arm, ISK. Mayan, I think you can. Thank you, Mayan. I'll see you at the Swiss Open, buddy. That's a very good young arm wrestler. Who beats Levon in the next 2 years? Well, maybe Vitali. I think that he's the last guy. Maybe Vitali. I'll tell you, Levon is really it's tough to get a match where people think that someone else is going to win. Bastian Aguero. Hi, low, Devon Larratt. You're on Island Arm Wrestling. Thank you, brother. Benji Mack. Brzezink's microwave versus Devin Stowe. Brzezink sold his microwave, I heard. I heard he threw it out, buddy. I heard it's not even there anymore. Flavian, how's your foot tendonitis going? It's improving. It's improving. I'm not limping around so much anymore, so I'm healing up. Benji Mack, yeah, you're gonna be in Switzerland, buddy. I hope so. I hope so. Vitaliano, if no Vitali match in March, how about early me match in Toronto? It's time for East versus West. Arrives in Canada. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, look at Hermes and I are probably due. Okay, so let me see here. We've got a couple more questions. Will there be some filming today at training? I think so. I think we'll probably film a bit. This shirt used to fit me fine. Now I'm like busting out, like I'm getting bigger. This shirt barely fits me anymore. I won't be surprised if there's filming. There tends to be filming. Hello? Hello, little dear. Borough Berserkers. Thank you. Jeremy Browning. Jeremy Browning. You are Devon fucking Larratt. If there's a man alive that should never say there's no chance of a win. So I believe, buddy, I'm just a realist, okay? I just have to know how good he is. I keep marching, okay? I keep marching, all right? I'm getting stronger all the time, right? Hey, girls, what do you think? Hey, come and do flex cam, okay? We got 4 of the strongest girls in the region here. They all put me to shame, okay? What are you girls doing today? Are you coming to practice?
Yes.
Right? Okay, regional high school championships. Are you all doing it, or is this Avery? Are you guys gonna?
We'll all do it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna do an unboxing later.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
We'll unbox with the big knife?
Yeah, maybe this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you guys excited?
Maybe, yeah.
Part two.
Don't you guys have school today?
No, we don't. It's Thanksgiving.
Ah, good, lucky deal.
Yes.
Lucky deal. Okay, well, okay, I'll bug you guys in a couple hours. Okay.
Let us know.
Yeah.
I won't be here, I'm sorry.
Oh no, Tori.
Next unboxing, I'll be here.
Okay, I'll let you know.
You have to text me and be like, it's happening.
Perfect. Yeah, the house is run by these girls. They run the place. I believe in myself. I do. I'm gonna keep on working. I'm gonna keep on working towards it. But much respect to the champ, Levon, and the inspiration he gives all of us to keep on climbing and keep on getting better at the sport. Yeah. So David Daddy Can and Camille, left hand. This is probably, I think it's probably for like 3. So 1 is Vitali, 2, I guess 2 is Morozov, even though Morozov is injured. And that's like Daddy Can and Camille are up for like the 3rd spot. I think it's great. I think it's a great match. I think stylistically, Daddy Can is in the driver's seat. I think, he's got speed. He's got hooking ability. He's going to be a bad opponent for Camille. I just think Camille's so freaking strong and committed with that press. I have Camille as the favorite myself. And most people I talk to, I'm like, Daddy Can's is kryptonite. Daddy Can's going to win. Another great match. So, anyways, that pretty much wraps it up. So, Daddy Can is a slight favorite. No big surprise. That wraps up the East versus West from the ArmBet perspective. There's many, many more great matches. It's going to be awesome. There's going to be the Swiss Open. It's going to be a weekend that's just so cool in arm wrestling in Zurich, in Switzerland. It's really got me excited about the sport, really. Again, I was a little bit down there for a while, I'm not going to lie, but I'm really excited about this one. I think it's going to be the best of the best going at it, just like we've had for a while now. And we're back. Ooh, here we go. Okay. We got some questions here. The documentary. I talked about the documentary earlier a little bit, but the documentary's happening. We're working through the documentary. It's in its final stages. I don't think it'll be too much longer before the documentary is going to be released. I don't think it's going to be too much longer. Now, I heard it was supposed to be done like sometime this year. So whatever that means, and we'll see. Don't hold your breath. But when it comes out, I think it's going to be a great thing for the sport, and for Levon and for me and for everybody who's involved. I think it'll be good for the sport. My end. Me versus Mindaugas left. How does it go, Dev? Mine, you're going to smoke Mindaugas. Mindaugas terrasitis, you better hope you don't run into this kid. He's going to give you a wake-up call in a hurry. White Wolf. Cool. I know Sean. I'll hit him up and likely take Diabolical Billy with me for a few days. We would love to have you. We'll take great care of you. Yeah, come and party with us. Yeah, Diabolical Billy will fit right into this mess. Yeah, so that's it, guys. So for me, I don't know what's going on, really. There's been a lot of rumors out there because really the match for me, I mean, we tried to do Vitali. Didn't work. I think, for me, it's just a good match. I'd like to pull the guy. I've been pretty vocal about that. I also, the thing is, I'm 50 and I have to have my timing together to face a guy like that. He's just too good for me to just show up and pull him. And I can't pull him after I've kind of obliterated myself for months and other preparations. So look, he's got first dibs. I'm going to probably be really good in March. Okay. I'll be really, really good probably sometime around there. We can flex it. One way or the other. But I want that match, or the toughest guy I can face, the toughest set of challenges I can face for myself still while I'm able to fight at this level. So what is going to happen? I'm going to go to Switzerland. I'm going to go over the top. It's going to be a great time. I'm going to train. I'm going to fight with all the guys. I'm going to show up. I'm going to go to Switzerland. Probably show up in Switzerland about 275, beat up from the road in a fully non-peaked version of myself in the most lowly form of Devon Larratt you will see. Okay. And I will sit with some important people in the sport. I will sit with Levon. I'll sit with Vitali. I'll sit with Hermes. Okay. I think that these are the most important people for me to really figure out what's going on, because they're involved in my decision making to a very big deal. Levon gets whatever Levon wants. Okay, that's the first thing. Levon's super heavyweight champ of the world. Okay, Levon says he wants to pull this guy. That's going to happen. Okay, Levon says he wants to pull that guy. That's going to happen. Okay, that's the way I see it. Okay, if you're the best guy in the world, you get to pick. Okay, so Levon gets to pick. If I was Levon, I'd probably pick Vitali. He squashed everybody else. It's a good match for him. So what does that do for me? Okay. So that means that I want to pull Vitali too. Okay. So I've heard rumors that Vitali, and this is just me talking. This is not from the league. This is me putting out what I think is going to happen. So I think they're probably going to maybe pull in February. I don't know. I hope they don't, because I'd like to pull them, but I got a feeling they're going to pull in February. Okay. If they don't, I will pull Vitali in March, and that's set. And if I can get that match and that's set, we are done. We are zeroing in on March. Okay. I will probably take a couple fights on the way to Vitali. Like, as soon as I know I'm pulling, I'll be getting ready. And yeah, if there's an East versus West and there's an opponent for me, I'll absolutely smash him before I freaking destroy Vitali in March. Okay, this is why I'm here. Okay, I'm here to beat Vitali Larratt in March. Might not happen. Because why won't it happen? Well, he might not want to pull me the month after he pulls Levon. And then it'll probably be the next window won't open probably until the fall or some bullshit like that. Okay. But we'll know. We'll know. So that's option one. Okay. So if that's not going to happen, then what do I think? I think I'm 275 pounds, 280 pounds. Okay. I can make 105. I can make 115. And for me, like, I don't really want to pull this or that, or this guy or that guy. Vitali's really the guy I want to pull in the super heavyweights if weight doesn't matter. But otherwise, I like winning world titles. Nugo at 105. If Nugo wins, I'll do that real quick. If there's no Vitali. If there's no Vitali, and if Nugo wins, I'll come back from Switzerland. I'll walk for a month. I'll go from 275 to 280. I'll lose 50 pounds. I'll get my abs back. Jody will be real happy. She'll love on me for a few weeks. And I'll reclaim that 105 and I'll walk away. I'll fucking still the champ, still own this category. I don't know. If Petrenko wins, I might let him just run it for a little bit longer before paying a visit. But really, the 115 category for me is super interesting. And I could hypothetically keep myself entertained for a little while in the 115 class. The way I see it, there's a lot of guys at 115 who, Dave Chafee versus Sagoff. Okay. Whoever wins there, yeah, so I can get a world title out of that. 115. Also, we got Reno Masick. Okay. Is he still hurt? Love to pull that kid. Love to. I'd love to do it now. Obviously if he's hurt, no, but it's been a while. Maybe he's coming back up. Love to do that. I hate to say this name, but I got to. Bacho Sagnishvili. I saw what he did at the Worlds. I think he's another contender at 115. But ultimately, the destination is none of those guys. It's none of them, because I quite honestly think I'll beat all of them. They're guys I face on the way to the fight. And the guy I actually think is probably the best dude at 115. It's not Chafee. It's not Sagoff. It's not Ivan Matyushenko. It's not Bacho. It's not Reno. The actual guy I think is actually probably the most dangerous at 115. Right hand is probably Hermes Gasparini. And I would probably try and set that for March after beating all the other dudes at 115 on the way and just clean the division. And then leave it alone again. And then go after Vitali. I don't know. Lots will come out from Switzerland. Lots will come out. I can't wait. And then there's always just Levon, just the long-term goal of Levon. And where does that fit? And I want to talk to Levon and see what he's thinking about having kids and stuff like that. Is he gonna disappear? I'd like to arm wrestle Levon for sure before he goes away for a while, if he is thinking that. So lots to think about. Guys, no more super chats. Okay, I'll answer the rest of your questions on here, and then it's time for me to get huge. Vitali should get to at least 160 for Levon. Be as big as you can. Super heavyweight division, get big. Get big. Big as you can be. Hey, Layla. Let's see on there. Diabolical Billy. The man. Okay, here we go. Oi, might dust off me skis, hit the Swiss Alps, and watch those EVW arm wrestlers chuck snowballs instead of bending arms. Big talkers on the table, but on the slopes, just cold, wet, and diabolical. That'd be great. Yeah, buddy. If you're coming, hit me up. We'll party. Yeah, it's going to be great. Going to be a great event. You should definitely go. Yeah, do some skiing. Bring your family. Yeah, it's going to be super cool. White Wolf Diabolical Barbecue in July, Billy. We go and bring your snowshoes, mate. Yes. Yeah. About the only time you won't need snowshoes is in July for Canada. Jeremy Browning and family. If Vitaly pulls Levon in February, then you pull Vitaly left in March so we can see you two on the table. And it would give good reads for the right. That is also possible. There's a lot of possibilities. I didn't talk about the left, but obviously Alazan left hand as well. Super interesting. Eventually, the Camille match left-handed has to happen. And ultimately, yeah, I'm going for Vitaly left-handed too. So, yeah, I left the left arm out, but yeah. Maxim Test. All the very best, Devon, Canada behind you. God bless. Thank you, Maxime. Raphael, hey, Devon, I live in Ottawa, and I'm relatively new to sport. Can anyone show up to an OHH practice? Was good meeting you a few years ago back at the tournament. Yes, Raphael, anyone can come to OHH practice, and it is free. Go to the Facebook page. We actually practice tonight at 7, so in like 6 hours and 20 minutes. So get ready for tonight's workout, buddy. Come on out. Thank you so much for your time, everybody. It's been wonderful sharing this Monday lunch period with you all. All the best. Hope I see you at Over the Top in Australia or at the Swiss Open. Stay massive, everybody.